And we are back. And hope you enjoyed that break. It was only a matter of time before a series opened up for us, and we have found ourselves mid-series here in the ace match. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Chinese Terran player, the reigning world champion representing Dragon KZ Gaming. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Match Arena Esports. It is NightMare. All right, I did hear Steadfast is on a vacation. Yeah. Sorry, I did hear that. Apparently, Brody is in Vegas. Oh, thanks for letting us know. I should cut sleeping entirely. True. While all these casters are on vacation, mate, we've been casting 14-hour days. That's okay. We're always on that grind, sets. Usually we take vacations at the end of the year, because we cast on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings, and we don't stop happy. But usually around like New Year's, like January, December, that's when we like take some time off. And by take some time off, we still cast. We just like take a break from our events. So the events that we schedule and that we organize, that's when we stop casting. Well, that's the break that we have. Yeah. Fun fact, I think the longest break from casting that I've had was last month. Was it last month or the month before? Where I got sick, unfortunately. I got sick with the flu. So I physically couldn't cast, and I took like 3 days off. No, 2 days off from casting. Because it actually hurt to cast. Oh no, sorry. Before that, it was like 4 months ago. I was forced. It felt so. Okay. The worst part of this year, like 4 months ago, I had no internet. I had no internet for a week. It was 7 days with no internet. It was actually awful. And I felt so bad. Because I was forced not to cast for an entire week. And I felt like I was missing out on so much. It was like WTL and like DreamHack and like we ended up catching up on everything that we missed, but a week of not casting was brutal. I think that's the longest that I've been without casting. Screw that. But we're getting into this. Getting into our game, and already some interesting openers. Okay, so we have a Rex Expand set up here from Oliveira on one base still, though. Across the map, it is going to be a Twilight Council opener. So we have our tech of choice from NightMare. It is going to be Blink. Again, we are tied up 1-1. We're jumping in mid-series, and so far, 2-gate opener here from NightMare. Something a little bit more, what looks to be economic. We'll keep an eye on how many gateways get thrown down. That will tell us how aggressive, of course, NightMare wants to be. But this is looking like an economic opener into a third base. We'll see how he pieces all of this together. As across the map, Oliveira going to be expanding. Again, a very interesting opener. Going to be going for these 4 Widow Mines and a drop behind this as well. Now, Oliveira, he skipped his SCV Scout. He skipped his Reaper Scout as well. He has no idea what's going on, but he soon will with this medevac. So usually Widow Mine drops are designed not to deal damage, but they're designed to scout the opponents. That's like one of the big purposes and one of the big values that you get from it. But this is a little bit different because we've gone up to 4 Widow Mines. This is pretty dedicated here out of Oliveira. So we are going to be looking for damage. We're getting across the map. Third gateway gets thrown down. So something for more map presence and map control from NightMare. Not overly aggressive. It's not a 4-gate blink open or anything like that. As the drop comes in, good reaction out of NightMare, though. He does avoid, quite a lot of damage. And it looks like, I'm loving the reburrowing here from Oliveira. Going to be avoiding so much mining time here than that. Oh my god. Finally, the shots go off. Finally, we can resume mining. But again, no mining here at the natural base for quite some time. Oliveira backs off. He saw what he needed to. He confirmed the blink opener from his opponent. He doesn't know how many gateways exactly, but alas, he still has a drop to come back in. Back at home, going to be setting up here on 2 bases. A pretty standard setup, 3-1-1. Tank production has commenced, and Oliveira is setting up just in case we do have a blink into the main base. He has a tank in the main, tank in the natural, bunker as well. So Oliveira pretty well fortified here on his 2 bases, ready for for his opponent's aggression. But as we mentioned, it's only 3 gateways, not 4. 3 gate openers are designed for map control. You don't typically commit into a base with this, and you take a faster third instead. This is considered a relatively safe opener, and again, if you want to be active on the map, 3 gates is what you want to be going for. Now, NightMare does have high ground vision, so he can try to go into the main base only for Stalkers, so this isn't designed to deal game-ending damage, but he will dip in, and he can focus down some SCVs. Tank is in position, though, and we get 1 Marine. Only a single Marine. Meanwhile, hopefully I don't miss this drop. I've got like 1 eye trained on the minimap. I'm trying to make sure that if this drop goes in, I can show it, but I'll do my best. As for now, the Stalkers are going to be chipping away at this wall. Tank a little bit too far back, so they're going to have to edge on forward. Behind this, third base is getting up and running. Colossi now on the way for NightMare. Are getting ready. Meanwhile, Oliveira just working on his 3rd TC. Not really going to be delaying it any further. So yeah, pretty macro-oriented playstyle here from Oliveira. I appreciate it. There are a lot of Terran players that delay their 3rd base even longer and just commit to a big 2-base push, and they expand behind it. But Oliveira is taking his 3rd a little bit earlier as he moves out. Meanwhile, that mine drop still here. Just keeping tabs. I'm sure Oliveira is going to want to try to go in conjunction with his push, hoping to force NightMare out of position. Now, what do we have at him to defend? Oh, drop does go back in, but NightMare, he is paying attention. Oh, as we do pull away just in time, 1 probe goes down, but NightMare was dragged out of position. The tanks, they get within range. Shield battery goes down. There is no overcharge. Solid tank volleys, but the tanks are looking a little bit exposed, and 2 of them will go down. But the Bio Army stands strong. Can we dive on those Colossi? It looks like we barely cannot. 1 tank behind this. NightMare, he needs another Warping of Zealots. Without it, he can't break this. As the Colossus do stand strong, and NightMare will hold. Up. Oh my god. Hot pick up. The tank is barely saved. And Oliveira, he traded well. Don't get me wrong. Did trade well, but again, that was designed to try to kill or break the economy of this 3rd base. Oliveira in a bit of trouble, and a tank is going to go down. Now, NightMare doesn't have enough to push out in all this Colossus. Did he overextend? Up! 1 Colossus goes down. Can he get the other? Oh my god, he barely cannot. Uno mas, 1 more shot, Bobby. 13 HP. Barely the Colossus survives. Good pick off though. That suddenly makes this a little bit more worth it. As we mentioned before, Oliveira's push was pretty committed, and for him to lose all of his tanks was not ideal, especially without dealing any economic damage. But he does get a Colossus, so that's something more here in his cap at least, as he does have to back off. 3rd base is being taken. Oliveira more or less is keeping up with the economy of his opponent, and once again going for another drop. I love that we have a secondary mine drop coming in. And is NightMare looking? It looks like he is. Oh. As he does pull back in time, only 1 probe goes down. Another mine does drop into the main though. NightMare again, quick to react. Ooh, but 3 more probes go down. Nicely done. At the same time, we also get a full scout of the main base with the drop. Oliveira aware of the tech, aware of the Templar archives, the potential for storm, and of course the disruptors that are coming out as well. Was able to confirm said disruptors. Meanwhile, this mine resets. 1 probe though. Again, good reactions from NightMare. Did you remember? Up. Not quite. 7 probes going down. Pretty good damage, but finally NightMare is going to be able to clean this up. He should bring an observer over, and there we go. Mines will go down. Back at home. Oliveira enjoying his 3rd base, fully saturated, now working on his 4th. And because of all this economic damage, Oliveira has taken a worker lead. And he will be the first to soon max out as well, as he's building up a bio army, focusing on Vikings. He isn't replacing the tanks that he lost, interesting to take note of. He also isn't incorporating too many winter mines either. The mines that he made, he's using to harass. He's not using them in the main army itself. So because of that, this main army doesn't really have too much of a backbone. It's a very fragile army. As I say that, we do have a lot of marauders. It's relatively beefy here, all things considered. And he's going to be relying a lot on these Vikings and a lot more on the EMPs. EMPs are on the way. So that's going to be his goal here. If he can land some juicy EMPs, he can fight this head on. If he misses, then things can very quickly tip in favor of the Protoss. Not just that, of course, but also the positioning and the positioning of the Vikings as well as the Colossus. The engagement is going to be quite tight. It's going to be on the knife's edge. As the disruptor count's getting higher, finally we have a second robo. Now that we're working on the 4th base, we have the economies to sustain a second robo production, or a second robo producing. So we can make 2 disruptors at a time. Dark Shrine on the way as well to harass. And NightMare, he has had quite a lot of time to himself here to just gather his thoughts, to consolidate his army, get his economy going, and recover from all the mine harass. But here we go. Oliveira likewise has been building up his forces. He has 5 ghosts. We'll see if we can land those EMPs. Likewise, we'll see if we can land those Purification Novas. So both players are just going to be posturing here. Behind this, second starport just finished up. We have +1 ship weapons on the way as well for those Vikings. And this will eventually lead into Liberator production. Eventually. We're getting there. Couple of scans, try to take down some observers. Oliveira going to be pushing through the right-hand side. At the same time, Zealot run by over towards the left. Oh, no bunker here in position, by the way. There is a sensor tower, but can Oliveira react in time? Liberation zones are thrown down, and oh, NightMare out of position. He is going to lose this base. The Vikings, they zone away the army. They take down the Colossus. The base goes down. Clutch recall. But 6 workers go down at the same time. Zealot Rambai does go in. We are focusing on the main attack. Nova! Big Nova does connect, but we have an even greater bio army. The Colossi go down. Good target firing. And Oliveira, he is snowballing out of control. Even without the Vikings, even with them being dead supply, there's just too much on the ground. The Novas were not good enough. We had like 1 good connection, and that is it. And GG gets called. Oliveira takes the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Oliveira able to again outposition his opponent. NightMare had no idea where the army was assuming that the army was rotating over towards the center. Meanwhile, he just exposed his 4th base. It went down instantly. And even when he tried to engage with the army, you could see that the Colossus were left exposed to the Vikings. Went down instantly. GG, well played. Well done there by Oliveira as... Oh, I have the wrong thing. Hold on. My mistake. Well done there by Oliveira as he does take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG, and oh, let's go! We're heading over to the America server because Oliveira, he has an opponent ready and waiting. It is Cyril versus Oliveira. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Let's go.